Oh, awesome. We are live. Hey, thanks, James.
All right. Hey, 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 what's up, guys? It's Clint. I am back with another episode of Versus. Boy, tonight we got a fun, action-packed show. We're going to be talking about the Webverse recap countdown for No Way Home. That's right. But before we do that, we're going to have you guys like, share, subscribe, click the notification bell. You want? What's up, Curtis? How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm like, where are all my verses, my graphic stuff over here? Boom! There's one. All right. Yes, sir, man. How's your week going? How you doing? For those who are just tuning in, I just got off of a long stream with Small Screen, which was a blast. I hope you guys made it over from that show, because that was a good time. Oh, we do. I can hear some background noise. Says, "You're welcome, Curtis." All right. Homies. Yeah, I didn't have my mic. So you probably heard me take a leak, grab some coffee, talk some shit. Yes, sir. We got Rajneesh in the house. Dude, go to bed, bro. What are you doing, man? Yeah, we got that James guy laughing at Rajneesh, and we got Rajneesh again saying, "Hey, CB3." So, how you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, man. Today was kind of a weird day. It's not the first time it's happened, sadly, but there was a active shooter threat at my school.
Holy crap! At your school?
It turned out to be nothing. It was just a social media thing, but it was weird. Everything shut down. I was I didn't have luckily I didn't have a class at the time, and so I was running passes to get kids out of there. There's 300 or more people at a time. Parents picking up their kids, and they're telling their kids just walk out of school, and it's like, no, you can't, like, we can't do that, guys.
What if there's a maniac running around? Like, yeah.
It's sadly it's not the first time it's happened.
Wow.
But we all got through it and everything's okay, but it's sad that that's the world that we're living in. But so James, give me a job in Canada so I can get out of it.
That's great. Well, man, I'm glad everything's cool. That's nuts, dude. That's a crazy day. How was your day? Oh man, blah 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 blah. How was your day? Oh well, I was scared for my life. That's a puts things into perspective.
I really was. Sadly, I've been through it before, and it's usually just some kid being stupid, and it's going to end up bad for him. But like most kids were like new as well, but some kids like crying, man. It's like they're straight up worried and like crying, and so it's terrible that we got to deal with it.
With the way the news is, I mean, all the crap they see on the news, it's like, holy crap, I'm gonna end up on the news, because it's like, I mean, not that there's not a thing you're dealing with, but the way the news is set up is to show everything and make it. They want clicks, you know what I mean? Like hyper, super bad. So everything is made to look scary. So when you're just a kid watching the news, you're like, dude, the world's a scary place, And then when all of a sudden it's like in your backyard, that's real scary,
Right. Yeah. And usually we get an uptick after, with the Michigan one just happened not too long ago. And so that just kind of happens. But yeah, so very interesting day.
Wow. Yeah.
But again, luckily everything was fine. No worries.
That was a lot crazier than my day. My day was pretty mellow, actually.
That's good.
Change. I was pretty stressed out for some reason today, considering it was a pretty mellow day, honestly. So
well, it seems like you have been running and gunning a lot more. It seems like
I have been. I've been trying to get my voiceover, for those who don't know me, I do voiceover work. I do it on the side. I've always done it a little on the side. I've always bartended a couple of days a week just for some extra income and make sure I got cash coming. And I do YouTube videos, and I'm doing all kinds of stuff. I do live streams, and I'm always doing something. I play in 2 bands, and I'm just busy. And I'm trying to double down on my voiceover stuff, because I have a production studio with world-class gear in here, and I can crank out a good product. So I just said, man, quit messing around. I'm spending too much time standing up bartending, and even though I enjoy doing that, but I just decided, okay, I need to double down on the voiceover and make some money from that. And after I run like hell, work 100 hours a week for a month or two, then I'll be caught up, and then I can just cruise and just do that. And so it's, it's been a lot of work and it's been real busy, but that's my plan. So I'm trying to double down on that so that I have more time to come up with fun rants to go on about Spider-Man.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, whenever we quit doing verses on Tuesday, Clint was like, I don't know. Maybe I can do something like this. Maybe I can do something like that. And I'm like, dude, or maybe you can just like relax for, like a couple hours and just like sit down.
Relax. That's for amateurs. Yeah, I'm always doing something, but luckily there's been some great shows lately. Too. Hey, we've got a Patreon person in my in the chat here. I can't even use my words. Oh my goodness, just read. That's what Bobby says. Bobby, thanks. That's a great idea. Every now and then I'm like, I'll lay down and I'm like, put on a movie and I'll feel guilty. The way my brain's wired, I feel guilty and I'm like, this isn't assigned. Like, this isn't one of the Spider-Mans that I have to watch before like this isn't something that's brand new that just came out that I need to know about so I could, and then
Like, I'm doing this for enjoyment. It's wrong.
enjoyment. You're not allowed to. You spent your whole life enjoying yourself. Now you've got to produce. Yeah. So anyway, but I have been having a lot of fun with Wheel of Time is a cool new series that's on Amazon, fantasy series that came out of left field, and I was like, another one of those crappy. There's one of these half-ass sci-fi or fantasy shows. There's a million of them, especially you get on Amazon. There's like a million, even in Netflix too. There's a million like B-team sci-fi shows and I could watch all of them because I love sci-fi and I love fantasy, you know what I mean? But there's a bunch, and I'm like, okay, I've got enough on my plate. I don't have time to watch this garbage. I'm assuming it's garbage. I haven't even watched, and then I saw the trailer for Wheel of Time, and I go, oh, I think this is gonna be good. And then I saw it, and dude, it's freaking great. It's a great show. I was talking about it earlier. It's one of those it's constantly building like Lord of the Rings, you know what I mean? It's in and Game of Thrones to a degree. It's like, okay, it's gonna get up to the big moment sooner or later. It's good on the journey, but like it's funny. I'm waiting for the big thing to happen. It's probably not gonna happen till the last episode. But so far, it's been a fun ride.
All right, yeah, I'm gonna have to check that one out. I've got like 10 shows lined up already, but yeah.
Have you been watching Hawkeye?
I have. I've been keeping up with Hawkeye. I'm still not sure how I feel about it yet. I did hear James say this was his favorite episode so far. It wasn't for me, but I don't know which one would be. I just don't like. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about it. It's. I mean, yeah. I'm gonna keep watching it. It's good, but yeah, I don't know. Did I lose you? Okay, there you go. Yeah. But it was definitely good that they like if you're worried about the mother before,
Uh-huh.
like she's like whenever she's trying to talk Hawkeye out of following the or going with her and figuring out what's going on, it was just obvious like
She knows
dude,
something, you know what I mean? She's
yeah,
trained. She's
like come
trained.
on,
She's not just a wife. She knows some stuff. I'm pretty sure that she might be. Oh, that's something I was gonna put up. Of course, I dropped the ball.
uh,
I was gonna say I think that she is Mockingbird. I think they're gonna try and write that
no,
in.
no, yeah. Well, I heard you saying that, and I agree with that. I was talking about the mom, Berga Fermara or
Oh,
whatever her
Vera
name is.
from Farmiga.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought you were talking about
Um,
Hawkeye, the Hawkeye mom, and I'm like, dude, I'm pretty sure this is what's up right there. You know what I mean?
yeah,
That's what I think's going on. But
yeah. I agree with you. I think that's coming down the works, and she might even get like a spinoff for somebody playing her younger or something like that. As when she was pre-mom stuff. Bobby says that Michael Nesmith died.
Mike Nesmith died. Holy smokes. Mike Nesmith, dude, he was the monkey that always wore the knit hat.
Hmm.
You remember the
That's
Monkeys?
sad.
You ever watch the Monkeys?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Mike
Yeah.
Nesmith. Here's a little cheers to Mike Nesmith.
Dink.
Yeah, I was trying to click the mic. A little for Mike Nesmith. Does anybody know what Mike Nesmith's mom invented without googling it? Don't be cheaters, guys.
I have no idea.
You don't know what Mike's mother.
I don't know what she invented, but I know she made a monkey. Hey-o!
Wah, wah, wah. She invented liquid paper.
Really? I didn't
Yeah,
know
so that Mike Nesmith from the knit hat liquid paper empire passed away. What a bummer, man. I was a big fan of the Monkees.
Yeah.
Loved the Monkees. Mickey Dolenz, Mike Nesmith, Peter Tork, and David Jones. Bunch of badasses. That was a fun show that I used to watch. And when they tried to do their comeback in late 90s or early 90s, I was on board. Bought the new record too. Yes, sir.
Oh, wow.
Vark Tech. I don't even know what the.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Good to have you, Mariana.
Yes, sir. So we're here to talk about a little bit of movie action. We're on the countdown for No Way Home. Did you get your tickets for No Way Home, Curtis?
I haven't yet.
Oh boy,
I've always been able to walk up and get them. It might be different for this one, but
it's because you're intimidating. You're like, step aside, mortals.
give me the fucking tickets.
Let me in.
But yeah, no, just I know it's gonna be a huge movie, but I'm probably gonna see it. I don't know. I think I can. I might go buy them. I don't know. Because it's Houston, so there's like a movie on or
a movie theater every
block.
15 feet.
Yeah,
I got you, man.
Yeah, and so like it hadn't really been an issue, but I might go ahead and get them early just because you're freaking me out, man.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's going to sell out all over the place. It still hasn't kicked in. They still haven't gotten the Chinese distribution. China hasn't put them on the thumbs up list for movies. I don't know if it's because they're having difficult relations with the United States government right now, but right. I hope I hope they get to break some big records, and they'll probably need China to do that. Otherwise, they'll have to put the twist of United States only, or they'll put some new title.
Yeah.
The highest selling movie sans China, blah, blah, blah. They'll put a new special title on it. That opened on a Thursday. They always have a special twist. That had a left-handed, the highest rated movie that had a left-handed lead. Wow. All right, well, let's talk about some. Last week we talked about the Raimiverse. We went down that fun wild ride talking about Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst and such a good movie. Groundbreaking, paved the way for modern comic book movies. The highest selling movie with Tobey Maguire. Exactly, Reese 75 comes in with exactly what I was talking about. The highest rated movie with Tobey Maguire. Tony MacGyver. So now we got to, you fast forward a little bit into the future, and then we end up with The Amazing Spider-Man. The Amazing Spider-Man comes out in 2012. And here's I'm going to give you the synopsis. I really like these amazing synopsises. They're amazing. After Peter Parker is bitten by a genetically altered spider, he gains newfound spider-like powers and ventures out to save the city from the machinations of a mysterious reptilian foe. Very short. I like I like short ones. All right. So, man, how did you enjoy going down this webverse wild ride of goodness and badness?
So, this was interesting for me. This was really like, okay.
Let me ask you this:
Last
was it
week we
hard to watch?
well, okay, let me say this. Last week we talked about it, Spider-Man 1. Mm, we were in agreement. You know, it's a good movie. We were talking about Spider-Man 2. We were in agreement it was a good movie. Spider-Man 3, we were pretty much in agreement, but I liked it a little more than you did. Spider-Man 3 looks like a fucking cinematic masterpiece compared to these movies. Like, these movies make the mess of Spider-Man 3 look like just like Citizen Kane. Like, they are such a mess. Now, I will say so, and I've seen both of them. Um, I really didn't remember, like, anything almost, and I think that's their best quality is they're highly forgettable because with a rewatch, these are some shit movies, man. Like, some good, acting going on, but, that's about it.
Oh
The
boy.
first one was definitely better, and we can talk about it, but, yeah, like, I didn't remember half of this movie, and,
You know, there was a
during the
Spider-Man 3 that was supposed to Amazing Spider-Man 3 is supposed to happen. Do you know
I had
about
heard
that?
that yeah,
Yeah.
I was reading up on that,
Yeah, it was gonna be 2018, with, again, with director Mark Webb, producers, Avi Arad, Simon Kinberg, Mark Webb, and here's what Amazing Spider-Man 3 is a canceled 2018 superhero film that would have been the third installment of the Amazing Spider-Man film series, the sequel to the Amazing Spider-Man 2, directed by Mark Webb and starring Andrew Garfield, Dane DeHaan, Shailene Woodley, Felicity Jones, excuse me, and Chris Cooper. It was said to focus on Spider-Man against the villainous team of the Sinister Six, in addition to being bonded to an alien symbiote. So they were going to bring the symbiote back.
oh, for sure.
Meanwhile, meeting new friends in Mary Jane Watson and Eddie Brock, dealing with his grief about Gwen Stacy. So they were gonna bring in Mary Jane and yeah, and they had Eddie. No, they didn't. That was Flash. But yeah, so that would have been interesting.
Yeah,
You can thank
but to
your lucky stars that didn't happen.
after reading that, I was wondering if they hadn't, like, taken those ideas and, like, put them like, it seems like they're leaning that way with the new one, you know? They're definitely going Sinister Six. Everybody wants to see Sinister Six, so
Yes.
that just makes sense. But, you know, they're like, if they're like, "Well, what if we do this?" And then, you know, with Marvel being involved, Marvel's like, "Okay, let's slow down and let's make this a fucking good movie, okay? Like, let's just stop, Sony." And they're like, "And we can throw this in there, and how about this?" And then Marvel's like, "Wait, wait, 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 wait.
Ho, ho,
Let's
ho,
make it
ho.
make sense first."
Hold on.
Like,
They're like, did anybody learn from the third Spider-Man? Like in the Raimi verse? Like nobody learned? Like you guys
no,
didn't get it?
no.
Yeah,
They learned that if you put Spider-Man on a movie poster, people are gonna just throw money at you. That's what they learned.
that's true.
Like,
That's
yeah,
exactly.
um, but yeah, so the first one. They didn't go organic web shooters. That's fine. You know that's perfectly okay. They definitely we talked a little bit about it last week, but Garfield's portrayal as Peter Parker. How do you feel about that?
How do I feel about well, I feel like he's a little bit too cool, for one. Uh
Mm,
and I know they had him playing a nerd. They're like, okay, cool guy. Uh but he's a young, slim, good-looking guy with a skateboard. You know, and I feel like he was too cool, too tall, to be Spider-Man. But he was nerdy and he was smart and he had gadgets. He had like a
he
thing.
was very
So,
smart.
so that was
Yeah.
that was cool. That was cool. And uh, but it was weird. And it was like, to me, I felt like they said, okay, we're rebooting this thing. We have to make it different. I think they nailed it on the first Spider-Man. So
Mhm.
so I feel like they had to go away from that because this was a reboot. So they're like, dude, if we do it right, it's going to be a complete carbon copy of the first one. That was perfect. You know what I mean? So
Right. Well, and
So,
no, but you're exactly right because they did a lot of. I didn't mean. I'm sorry to
no, no
interrupt.
worries.
Uh, I want to come back to that because they did a lot of things that were just really bad decisions, and it seemed like it's specifically because we got to get away from the Tobey Maguire ones. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and I think too they were trying to make it a cooler, more real Spider-Man on the first one. They were trying to make it more real. Like the first, like the early 2000s, Raimi's Spider-Man is really campy. Like,
Mhm.
and it's really campy. And I feel like with these, they were trying to be more real. I also feel like once he became Spider-Man, he didn't get too overpowered right away. He didn't know what he was doing right away. He still, even though he had enhanced reflexes, he was still kind of clumsy and kind of figuring it out. He wasn't all of a sudden like, bam, I'm invincible, perfect Spider-Man. He was a little bit clumsy and he was figuring that out. Now it changes in 2. All of a sudden, he has had some practice and he figures it out, and he's
Yeah.
like super swinging and doing some crazy stuff. And I think it was beautifully shot. I think it looked really good stuff.
Mhm.
But with this guy, I feel like without having a guy that becomes a super perfect mutated human that can shoot webs out and it feels natural. He's got gadgets on his arms. I feel like I think they did it right. That part of it, I think they did it right. And him running through alleys and learning how to do it, he wasn't perfect right away. I really liked that about it, and it felt more realistic. And I feel like, okay, this is going to be a grittier, more realistic Spider-Man. Set in a normal world. He's not going to be like a super nerd, but he's going to help stick up for the nerds that are getting picked on. And then, I feel like that's how they kind of were
Yeah.
thinking about it. He'll be all right. He's not going to be cool, but he's going to be just a normal kid. And
Yeah, but he was cool. Like that's like
yeah,
just was cool. Like
he
and
was. You know who he
like
was in high school? He wasn't the jock who won all the football games. He was like the cool guy that got all the dates that liked to party also a little bit. That's what he looked like.
right.
He looked like the guy that was at all the parties, that was cool and had the hot girlfriend all the time. Like that was like
Yeah.
he was the cool guy in school.
Yeah,
That's
the
what he looked
dreamy,
like.
smart loner guy,
Yeah.
like that, like well, and to me, like he looked kind of high the whole time when he's playing. Not when like when he's playing Peter, he was just like, yeah, oh yeah, like I don't just seem like high or something. But yeah, I didn't like his portrayal of Peter Parker. Well, it was different. Let's just say it was different. I mean, because I didn't necessarily hate it or anything like that, but it wasn't um a great Peter Parker. I did like him better as Spider Man. But like no, but like you were saying, they did so much to get away from the Raimi movies. And you gotta think, like most of the time remakes are unless it's of a bad movie and they're like, we can do that better and make some money on it, they're extended by or at least 10 years or something, like before they remake a movie that's a mega hit. This was 5 years after Spider-Man 3, and which is kind of amazing. Well, and we know they did
Did you
it
say
so
that
that
on
they could keep
purpose?
the what?
Kind of amazing.
Oh, sure it is,
Amazing Spider-Man.
yeah. Um, uh, we know they did it to keep the rights. Sam Raimi wasn't gonna do part 4, um, and then Tobey Maguire was out after that whole Spider-Man 3 because they basically were like, "You have to put Venom in Spider-Man 3," and then they did, and then the movie sucked, and everybody was like, "Well, fuck, Sam Raimi just fucked that up." Like, and Sam Raimi was like, "I'm not doing this anymore." Like, um, so they had to keep the rights and make another one. So they made this one, and they wanted to get, and it's 5 years later. They want to get so far away. Like Martin Sheen did a great job
Yeah.
being Uncle Ben. Not as good as the other guy. The other guy is Uncle Ben.
Yeah,
Um,
and again, that was a more Leave It to Beaver kind of a family dynamic. You get into this was more real. They're trying to get more realistic, so it's like Uncle Ben had to switch shifts and to go to the school to talk to the principal and and
yeah, yeah.
it was more real. It wasn't like the parents from Lassie or Leave It to Beaver or something. This was like real, more real. And also, Uncle Ben literally dies because
Yes.
Peter has no money for chocolate milk. Uh,
Yeah, thank you,
but
Reese. Like that's
let's also not ignore the that his dad from the get go is involved with the spider stuff. It's all connected. Like his dad worked for Oscorp, and all this stuff is happening. He finds a briefcase later and all that, but like you don't even. I
Yeah.
asked you last week. I was asking you, hey, dude, how did Peter's parents die? I don't even know. And you're like, oh, there's different versions, but this is like a complete. This is like conspiracy, dude. Like what? My parents
But
worked for Oscorp.
yeah, this is kind of like leans a lot into, and again, I haven't read them in forever, but the ones that I was talking about where they retcon it and his parents end up working for the Red Skull, somehow or some way. Um, like there's all this secret stuff going on and this and that and the other, and
Yeah,
just
his dad invents the ability to mix human and spider DNA, and the purpose that he was inventing this stuff is to have cure for diseases and do things like
right.
that. That's supposed to be the deal, but Oscorp has government contracts, and his dad finds out that he's going to be selling that they're going to be selling these discoveries to other countries and
Hmm.
weaponizing things, and he was like, "Nope, I'm out. We can't be
Yeah.
weaponizing this stuff."
Well, and that yeah that they brought that in there, and they I do like how in part two the reason it works with they kind of make it tied together, make it make sense. Where the reason it works for Peter is because he put his own DNA in there.
Right.
Um, but again, it's kind of like we talked about last week, where it's just this like amazing trick of fate that the spider happened to bite Peter. Uh, you know, but of course, it's a story. So, but like whenever like Reese says, he died because he couldn't buy the milk. Like they went from this great storyline that's from the comics, um, of Peter or of Uncle Ben's death, you know, to like to this thing like where he just gets like shot, outside of a gas station or a little bodega or whatever, and like over some milk,
Same
and
same thing, dude. The guy was being a d-bag. He's like, "Ah, I'll
yeah,
let him get away."
but
They
yeah,
had to
I
do it
mean,
different. They like, "We have to do it different." The other one just came out at the end of
yeah,
the
I mean,
day.
I mean, you're that's what they did. But and here's the thing too, like they didn't even say with great power comes great responsibility.
No.
Okay, they're not ripping off the other movie. They rip that like that comes straight from the comic books, and they wouldn't even say it. And it's like that's so stupid. Uh, and oh my god.
I have s Yeah, oh,
And
I have some stuff I was, like, jotted down. I was like, "He's not such a loser." They made him coolish. Like, they were trying to make a reboot different. I already said that. And then, oh, they even had a quote about responsibility that was a different quote, and then they
it was
also
yeah,
said, like Aunt May says, "Secrets have a cost. They're not for free." That was like they're trying to make that a cool quote. Like they like
the cost,
almost
yeah,
pause, like
the new
secret,
yeah
yeah, secrets have a cost. They're not for free. And I was like, oh, is that the quote for this one?
yeah
It comes with great responsibility. Uh,
that cost a buck 05. Uh, if Peter had one more penny, he would have left the store, saw Uncle Ben, left the area before the robber came out. If one more
just
pe
one
yeah.
more penny.
Oh my
Does-
god. And so here's what bugs me too. So there's the guy with the star tattoo, right?
Yeah,
That's his so in the other one, his motivation is selfish from the beginning. He gets these powers and he has these selfish and in the end of the comics, like this is the character. He gets the motivation originally from being selfish. He wants to earn money, he wants to use his powers, and he wants to beat up people. Like he has he's never had power before, and now he's got it, and he's like, I'm gonna use it. And in this one, his motivation to become Spider-Man or to start fighting crime is to find the guy with the star tattoo. Okay. And so he's hunting the streets. And I did like what you were saying earlier. Like those guys kind of beat him up a little bit. Like
yeah.
he can't just take them all out, so he is learning his stuff. That was cool. And then they don't do the great wrestling scene, which is from the comics, like he falls in, which, and he sees the luchador mask. Okay. But then after that, he never looks for Star Wrist again. The guy that killed his fucking uncle in 2 movies never goes looking for this guy again. Like that guy just that plot point just dissolves. His whole motivation for becoming Spider-Man, the guy that killed his uncle, they never bring it up again. Like, hey,
I
blonde star guy,
I like
not
how
gonna look for him.
I like how Dennis Leary calls him out for that too. Dennis Leary plays a captain and is Gwen Stacy's dad. And at dinner, he starts venting about this web slinger, uh, troublemaker vigilante, and of course. Andrew Garfield's like, well, maybe he's not so bad, And I'm like, and it's like, what? And he's like a hard ass dad. Next thing you know,
Yeah.
he's like, oh, and he he's doing all this and thinks he's so smart and he's sitting here leaving clues. He's like, and he even mentions it. He's like, yeah, every guy that he delivers to us looks exactly the same. So he's clearly he says that. So he's clearly on a mission to find somebody,
Yeah.
or whatever. And I was like, wow, I didn't even. I mean, I kind of noticed that he's checking everybody's wrists, looking for a
Yeah.
long haired, white guy, and. But I was
And
like,
then
yeah, Dennis Leary knows what's up.
yeah, and then poor Captain Stacy, after a certain amount of time, he's like, well, not anymore. Like, no, I guess I was wrong about that one because he's never looking for this guy again. Like, I just,
Like, well, I guess we need to make out, Gwen. All right, let's do
yeah,
it.
yeah, like,
Yeah.
um, oh, there were so
Yeah.
many, and it was not a. Go ahead, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say the CGI on the gator sucked.
I was gonna, yeah, I noticed that as well. Like the CGI in the originals looked better than the CGI in this one. Like it didn't. I don't understand. Like
Some of the
it's later. They should
Spider-Mans
have.
look good, but
Yeah,
Gator, ah,
yeah. I mean, he looked all right too. Like his face was kind of funky looking. He looked like the one of the Goombas from Mario Brothers. Um, like I don't know why they couldn't give him a more lizard like face. Um, but well, and him as a character, like why, like the whole turning everybody into a lizard thing, the storyline, what the hell's going on here? Like and he's like, oh, the lizards are the best, so I'm gonna turn everybody into a lizard, and of course, Peter's dad happened to create something that would allow him to do that, but like. Like why is he doing that? Like like
why did he why did he want to do that to everyone?
exactly, like, just because he thought like he went crazy and was like, "Lizards are better," you know? So, eh eh, you know, even in Spider-Man 3, you understood why Sandman was doing what he was doing, right?
Yeah.
Like, you understood why Harry was fucking turning into a bad guy. You even understood, as shitty as it was done, like, why Venom was doing what Venom was doing. Like, but this, it's like, "What? Huh?
You think it's
What's going
because
on
he
here?"
was like a freak? He's like, I'm a freak now. I'm gonna make everyone else a freak too.
I mean, maybe, but, like, that wasn't expressed very well either, like this and again, yeah, I mean, it was entirely forgettable, but, like, it just that was its best quality because yeah,
I
um,
I tell you what
go
though,
ahead.
it was definitely a cinematic masterpiece compared to Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Well, that's absolutely true. I wish you were wrong, but,
Yeah,
like,
the Spider-Man 1,
I
man, I didn't hate it. Like, I didn't hate it.
no, 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 I don't yeah.
I appreciated the casting. Casting was good. Like, Sally
Mhm.
Fields was really good. And Andrew Garfield is a fantastic actor. Like, now whether or not he was right for the part that he was playing I don't even put that on him. You know what I mean? I blame the director and the casting for doing that because, like, in the role, once he's in there doing his thing, it's his version of the character,
Yeah.
his interpretation of what a smart ass teenager is that's his interpretation. I think he did a great job, and he's a brilliant actor. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I don't know about brilliant. I haven't seen, honestly. To be honest, I haven't seen him in anything else. But yeah, like I didn't like. I thought the acting was probably the best, and Dennis Leary knocks it out of the park.
Hmm.
They made character choices with Captain Gwen Stacy that differed and all this stuff. But I mean, yeah, a lot. Yeah, the acting was damn good in the movie. I think Sally Field was underused in both films, honestly. Um, and but yeah, they I don't it was not this horrible, terrible film. It was just, the original 3, or you could at least say the original 2, were fun comic book films, but they were good fucking movies too.
Yeah.
This was just fun. Like, it was like, I would not call this a good film, but you will definitely have fun watching it. Just don't think too hard, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
Man,
and
and I like
enjoy the acting. And Emma Stone is as always great and everything.
in everything. That's exactly where I was going. I love Emma Stone. Just about anything she does, I enjoy. Um, well, let's talk about Spider-Man, the Amazing Spider-Man 2. His greatest battle begins. Bum
They have a
bum
very
bum.
interesting definition of great, but that's kind of true because, like, they make Electro seem like he's a damn Thanos level villain in this, and Spider-Man can beat him. But yes, let's.
Now, this movie, oh man, right off the bat, like he comes in swinging, and I'll say that the CGI looks great with him swinging from stuff and flying
Yeah.
around. It looked good as far as that goes. As soon as I see Paul Giamatti, I'm like, come on, like Paul Giamatti, like dude, like I can't see that guy as I am tough Russian criminal. You know, like, dude, get out of here, bro. Like, go back to Billions or whatever show that he does.
Sideways.
Sideways, yeah. Go talk about Merlot. Like, get out of here. Yeah. And I like Paul Giamatti. Like, I like
Yes,
him.
he's a spectacular actor.
Yeah.
It was just the wrong.
He had a buddy that was like, hey, you want to be a Rhino?
You want to? Yeah, you want to be a Spider-Man?
I can do
Fuck
that.
yeah.
Well, I'll just wear a tracksuit, and then you can't tell what my build is. And with a shaved head, I'll just look mean. Okay, sounds good.
They made him look bigger than we all know Paul Giamatti actually is.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
And then we're gonna put you in a metal. We're gonna put you in a steel fight suit, like weapon suit. Anyway, yeah, that was interesting. But dude, like this movie was super campy, and that's funny that they got away from that. They went away from it. They made a conscious effort to not be campy and try to make a more real Spider-Man, and then they forgot all of that and went just campy again. And all of a sudden, it's like, dude, what the hell? Like seriously, you got Paul Giamatti playing Rhino. That's ridiculous. Like, and Jamie Foxx's comb over and nerd character, like
Yeah.
we all know how smooth Jamie Foxx can be. We've seen him in
Right.
a tuxedo, being a song and dance man, singing and being a badass. We know, and you're gonna give him a bad comb over and have him do like over, like
Oh well, actually,
I mean, it was like my stapler, from Office Space or something. I was like, come on, dude. Nobody believes this. And then he's going to transform once he has to go from an insecure guy to an insecure guy who's blue and now has newfound powers and is like mentally unstable a little bit. I'm like, you like me? Huh? It just.
and that goes away immediately. Like, he's in love with Spider-Man. He loves Spider-Man, and Spider-Man even says, "You're my guy." And then, like, I know he's freaking out when he's got his powers and stuff, but that goes away immediately. Like, because a cop shoots at him, he's like, "I can't trust you, Spider-Man." Like, that was weird within itself. But
the whole movie was weird, dude. Like, I didn't even take. I started to take notes of this movie, and I was like, I didn't even take notes from this movie. I was just like, this movie, again, looks good when he's swinging through the air, and I felt for Gwen when she's trying to go to England to go to school, and they have the whole love thing. Like, okay, hey,
that whole
and he's seeing visions of Dennis Leary, her dad, and he promised him he was going to leave her alone. And so there's like a weird back and forth. He keeps leaving her alone, but he's drawn back to her, going back and forth, and so they're playing with that. And how did I not see with the end result? You know what I mean? Like, coming. Like, I was surprised by it. It's like now not only does Andrew Garfield look like the singer for every emo band from the early 2000s,
Mhm.
That's what he looks like. He looks like the
Yeah,
popular emo band. Like he could have
yeah.
sang in, Bayside or something. And like, and like now it's the dark death. They didn't do death in these shows back then, so it was a pretty intense ending. The movie was not.
Yeah, it definitely was, and that's how she died in the comic. Well, eh, no, that's a whole other topic, but that is how she died in the comic. Um, but like, everything that was annoying about they got away from the Maguire or, the Raimi verse. They were like, "We're gonna get away from it," like we were talking about earlier. And then the thing that was annoying was Peter and Mary Jane, like, I can't be with you, but I wanna be with you, and I can't be with you, and I wanna be with you," and they were like, "Let's bring that back. Like, let's do that again." Like, and I was like, "God damn it," like, like, and it wasn't like that in the comics. Captain Gwen Stacy was just like, "Just protect her, make sure you protect her," and, like, it was so annoying to see that again. But I will say this, Garfield and, Emma Stone had the best chemistry of any of the Mary Janes and Peter Parkers in any of the other films. And I think they were dating at the time or something like that, in real life. At least Gwen wasn't pregnant with Norman's kid.
Uh,
Yeah, that was gonna be in number 3, but
who was dating in real life?
I think, Garfield and, Emma Stone, whenever they
Oh
were
wow,
filming, you started dating, but their chemistry was like that. It was like it
it
was
was good.
real,
Yeah,
Yeah. Um, but yeah, just the way they did that, it was like just fucking annoying. Like, you're doing this again, and like, of the when you're complaining about Spider-Man 3 because of all of these villains and stuff, and then you get, I thought the right remembering, I forgot a lot about it, but I thought the Rhino was way more in it than he is.
yeah. Hello there. You look at that. Who we have a guest? We have a guest host with us today.
This
How
is
are?
Cece.
Hi, Cece.
Say hi.
Hello,
Hi.
Cece.
Do you like Spider-Man?
Yes.
Daisy!
Oh
Okay.
yeah.
All right. I love you.
Oh, what a glorious guest host. You can catch her. She's got a spin-off show where she talks about Swayze the dog.
Swayze the dog and My Little Pony and all of the current events regarding My Little Pony. Um, there is a new one out on Netflix, which I've seen 46 times.
Wow.
So if you ever ask me why I'm not watching The Mandalorian or anything else, it's because I'm watching My Little Pony. So there you go.
Reese just sent a funny one. Andrew and Emma broke up on the same day he found out that The Amazing Spider-Man 3 was canceled.
Yeah. Has
Yeah,
he
man.
done anything since?
You were saying you
I mean, I'm
remember
sure he has, but go ahead.
you were saying you remember the Rhino being a bigger part of the movie. I do too, and I feel like it's because it was such a traumatic part of the movie. It was so
Mhm.
bad that's what you left. That was so bad. That's all you could remember. It was that traumatic.
You're like, oh my
You're having
god.
like nightmares about it
But
still.
it
You're
was
like,
like,
no, not
and that
Rhino, not Paul Giamatti.
that's a long fucking movie because I was sitting there and it was like, I've been watching this thing for 2 hours and Rhino's not even in it, like, yet. Like, what's going on here? And
Dude, and it was a pretty it was a I don't like to be negative. You know me, I like
I
everything. But like
yeah.
but like uh the movie seems like it's about over and then they have a weird kind of a pointless like if it shoehorned is the way I could do it. Like shoehorned uh wannabe transition into what will be the Sinister Six. You know what I mean? They're like, we gotta make him come back from this.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so how can we do this? Well, we can put him in at the end, and then he'll come back, and then it's the perfect setup for the next one with the Sinister Six. You know,
Yeah.
it was very weird shoehorned ending.
Well, and so with uh the Sinister Six thing, like, it's so they show Doc Ock's tentacles or whatever. They show the vulture's wings, and they like it's basically like Oscorp is just creating the whole thing, and the fucking guy, the that the Harry Osborn was the worst. I just wanted to like punch this guy in the face the entire time he was on screen. The guy that played Harry Osborn, like I don't like maybe he's great in other things. I don't know, but the Harry Osborn kid was just so annoying. Like he was like 12 years old and he already had a comb over, and like he was just terrible, man. Like, and I don't. And it doesn't make any sense. Like his dad's like, "You're gonna die of this disease," and his dad's like 65, and then he's like, "I'm dying tomorrow. Like, help me, give me your blood." And like, what the fuck is going on here?
I
Like,
didn't like him either.
yeah, he was just it made and James Franco again made like it made James Franco look like this amazing actor, like because this guy was just such a piece of shit.
That guy.
You're gonna make me punch my computer. Don't do that.
uh,
But and yeah, he was shoehorned in as well, and just like Electro was the main villain, and like I said, they made him this like he was a powerful, powerful villain.
I'm sorry, dude. uh,
And he was barely in the movie. Like, it was so weird. And then there's trains come, like, the secret mission with his dad and the trains, and like, what the hell is going on here? Who was
the
that?
they like it was weird, dude. And the whole way he got his powers is like, okay, he gets them from electric eels and the electricity together at the same time. I'm like, okay, that kind of goes in with the technology that they're working with. It was just weird. Um, the whole thing is weird. And hey, yeah, your company has a secret team of like underground dark black market
Mhm.
terrorist whatever. I don't know. It just seemed kind of weird.
Yeah, and the I don't know, like, it's like they had all these ideas and just it's not even it's not even a movie. It's like a collection of ideas. Like, what if this happened? Like, what if that happened? Well, maybe this could happen. And like none of it's really resolved. I mean, I guess Electro is resolved, but um it's so fucking weird. And
I did like how Gwen Stacy helped him magnetize his web shooters and fix that problem.
I like that too, but it's just kind of I mean, it was cute, but like at the same time, if he can create fucking web shooters, so Oscorp has this tensile, liquid, and they couldn't create something like that, but yet he can, and he's like, oh wait, magnets. They were like, I forgot about
Dude,
magnets.
it's all about
I'm a,
magnets. If you've seen
I'm a,
F9, you know it's all about magnets.
like, I'm a master physicist, and yet I forgot about magnetism for some reason.
Yeah, dude. Like, and she even says it. Like, yeah, like in our remember in 5th grade, magnets.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
oh,
magnets. That's how I don't get electrocuted and die. Why didn't I think about that? Magnets, bitch.
magnets.
That's a quote of the day right there.
There you go. But
Magnets, bitch.
like I don't know, and the fact that they were thinking of making a third, or they're planning, straight up planning to make a third one.
Yeah, Reese, you missed it because I don't know if you popped in late, but you were like, "Hey, Did you hear about the proposed blah blah blah?" Yeah, we read it a little earlier. It was a canceled 2018 superhero film that would have been the third installment of the main Amazing Spider-Man series. It would have been Mark Webb. It was said to focus on Spider-Man against the villainous team of Sinister Six, along with being bonded to an alien symbiote. So they were going to combine alien symbiote and Sinister Six and really oversaturate
Yeah,
how many people can we put in one movie?
and you got to think about that. So at the end of two, so Electro's dead. He's not going to be in the Sinister Six. Okay, because it has different iterations. Sometimes he is, sometimes he's not. So well, and maybe okay, we can say maybe he's not dead. Maybe something happened. But I don't know. So they show the Vulture, they show uh, Doc Ock's tentacles. Maybe he doesn't beat the Rhino or completely or something. But think so we're gonna have so they've got one villain. They've got the Green Goblin, potentially two if they find a way to bring Electro back. We're gonna have 4 origin stories for villains, or they're gonna cheap shot these villains and be like, they're just Oscorp employees. You know, these major Spider-Man villains are just like, they're just some prisoners we pulled out and made into villains. Like that was just a bad idea all around. Like, what were you gonna do with that?
Holy shit. Listen to this. Come on. Oh, really? Why are you so little? Did you know Gwen Stacy would come back to life, and Norman's frozen head would be given a new body and given the Goblin serum in the Amazing Spider-Man 3? And he's not even joking. I never heard that. That's amazing. That's why it's called the Amazing Spider-Man.
I had read something about Norman coming back to life or being in it. I did, and I was like, maybe he didn't die. I don't know, but Gwen coming back to life, like that's just stupid.
That would be Mephisto.
Well, there you go, and you've just solved the multiverse, Clint.
That's right.
Good job. But yeah, like these movies are. I mean, they're definitely cash grabs, but Reese says the last scene in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 has Norman's head in a jar. I did not notice that. I'm going to actually have to go back and look at that.
Yeah, I didn't notice that either. That's crazy.
They were definitely cash grabs. They were definitely trying to keep the rights. They are not the worst movies in the world. But however, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is the worst Spider-Man movie. I mean, I would love somebody to argue me that, but like again, the Spider-Man 3 looked fucking amazing. We keep saying amazing. Can we stop saying amazing?
Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah. It was just such a mess, and that's the thing. I remember people freaking out over Jamie Foxx's Electro. Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, it was so stupid." And so that version was much more based off of at least the look of the Ultimate Spider-Man Electro. Because he didn't have the green suit with the lightning bolts on it and stuff like that. But but people were just freaking out over him and stuff like that. And like that's the thing, he was barely in the movie enough to even freak out. I didn't get it. He was the main villain, and he was barely in the movie. Oh, yeah, there it is.
This is it right here.
Yeah, there's Norman Osborn.
Did you
Reese says he prefers it over Far From Home. Interesting. I would right now I would definitely disagree, but we're gonna rewatch Homecoming and Far From Home next week. So
yeah, I'm gonna start watching them tonight. I'm getting ready for that. I'm excited about that. About the new one.
And I'm probably gonna rewatch Civil War too, because that's basically it's not a Spider-Man movie, but that's where it all starts.
Yeah. Do you have any fears about the great recipe for garbage Spider-Man is shoehorning a bunch of characters into a movie, and that's what we're celebrating that they didn't do in the Amazing series. The first one, Sony made Raimi do that, and it turned into a big convoluted mess. Do you have any fears that this new Spider-Man movie, because of the multiverse, because of all the things that have going on, do you think it's going to be a big convoluted mess, or do you think maybe we'll get a few tastes and then they'll all resolve itself, or what do you think?
Damn, that's a good question. That is a damn good question. Since Marvel's involved, I have a lot of faith in it. If this were just a straight up Sony Spider-Man film, and y'all were talking about it on small screen, we always talk about, well, that's a Marvel movie. It has that Marvel movie feel. It has that Marvel movie this and that. Sony movies, Edward called it the Sony stink. So Sony movies definitely do have a certain feel. Like Venom, both 1 and 2, I enjoyed. They were fun. It wasn't really the character per se, but they were fun and enjoyable. But I wouldn't call them great movies or anything like that. but they're a blast to watch. I mean, I recommend them to anybody. Um, if this were just a straight up Spider-Man film, and if they end up going that route and not partnering with Marvel at some point, it's gonna be bad, man. It's just gonna be so bad. I think since they're gonna have 6 villains in there, but that's the thing, since they are already established, they have backstories, they're not going, and throwing 6 new villains in there or something like that. I think they can pull it off, especially with Marvel's help. Like, I think it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be good. Um, but yeah, if they try to do this again with a bunch of villains and it's gonna be ugly. These characters we already know. Some young people might have to go back and rewatch, the Molina ones and the originals and stuff like that. But that's good. But you, they're there. They're not going to do origin stories on all these guys.
I I have faith, like you said, because it's Marvel, and they just did the Eternals with a whole bunch of characters. They've
Well, bad example, but go
no,
ahead.
I'm just saying the Avengers, one of the greatest films,
Yeah, for sure.
comic book films. There's a whole lot of characters in that, so it's like
Yeah,
if you got to have a chaotic scene with way too many characters, you want Kevin Feige quarterbacking that project.
for
You know what I
sure.
mean? Because the ending of Endgame could have been a complete cluster, and it turned out
Yeah,
to be one of the coolest things ever because they did it right. And I have a feeling that's what's going to happen again. So I sure hope I'm right. Um,
very well said.
I keep. Let me find this one too. Uh, I'm looking for something.
Are you looking for love?
In all the wrong places.
Well, you're probably looking in too many faces.
There we go. Uh, so yeah, people kept dancing around my thing or cracking jokes uh earlier when I was talking about Vulture,
Right. Yeah, yeah. I noticed
and
that
I'm
too.
like, guys,
But
you can talk
explain
shit
it.
about
Say,
Sony if you want, that's fun, but I'm asking a real question here.
yeah. Make your
We
point again, right quick.
we got Vulture right here. That's
Uh-huh.
Vulture in Morbius. All right.
Mhm.
Now, now, let's see here. We got Vulture right here. Two vultures. You see that? That
Now
is
is
the
that who's
that's
that?
in the
Which one's that?
MCU. That's in Far From Home. Or no,
Okay,
that's in
okay,
Homecoming. Excuse me. So,
okay.
all right, okay, we get it, Clint. It's Michael Keaton twice. What does that matter? It matters because this one is in the Sony verse, and this one is in the Disney verse. You know what I'm saying? This is two universes. So do they just happen to be there? Are they variants? What's going on with that? And like, if not, I'm thinking. I was like, dude,
So
are they gonna merge the two universes to where they're like, hey, and because we've got Venom and we've got seeing him, so now we got Venom in the same universe as Spider-Man, and
mhm.
some people are like, hey, that's just for a second. Are these two universes gonna fuse together? Is or is are they going to have the universe rips open, there's all kinds of portals and shit going on, and then at the end of No Way Home, maybe Vulture jumps into the fight or whatever, and then gets thrown into a portal to where he can be in the Sonyverse, the Spider-Verse, so that he can be in a Sinister Six movie that is done by Sony. You know what I mean? Like that's a thought that I had. I was like, maybe the reason you see him over there is because during No Way Home he's going to be tossed over there and he's going to get stuck and there'll be no way home for him. But if that's not the case, then I'm like, that means that the two universes merged.
Yeah. Well, so I think.
Because all of a sudden you got Venom, Morbius,
Mhm.
not Morbius, but Venom. Well, by default, Morbius, and because he's in a scene with him, and
Mhm.
Michael Keaton and Spider-Man all in the same universe.
Yeah. So with Morbius, have they said anything about? Um, so there's got to be some Marvel involvement, and I would assume
We,
that
you,
whenever they're
it's
making contracts and stuff, they if Sony was smart enough to think ahead, they're like, well, if you're going to use Spider-Man, then well, I guess they have the rights to Vulture because that's a
there's no
yeah.
like Morbius. Sony owns that character. Like they
Yeah,
that's one of their
right.
characters, and there's no Spider-Man reported to be in Morbius.
Mhm.
But they have Michael Keaton supposed to be in it, and then there's it looks like Venom is going to show up too. So you got
Mhm.
two. You got, but one of those guys is a Marvel unless I guess unless Marvel borrowed him for some reason. I mean, it's just weird. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, why does this guy
Yeah.
exist in two different universes that are about to move together?
But, I think they are at least so whenever Marvel is done with the entire u multiverse thing, so they're doing it so they can bring in all the properties, and just like Sony is doing, and it's kinda cool that they have the partnership right now because for one gleaming moment, it can be this entire, you know, uh, universe where they are all interconnected. Um, if Sony and Marvel split ties, um, you know, you could have just one line where Doctor Strange says, "Oh, well, that those lines timelines ended," or something like that. Um, but yeah, that's a good point. Like they're gonna, and Sony's definitely absolutely gonna continue on.
For
With
sure, and I
with
think they're going to be stuck together for a few more movies, like
I think so too. Yeah,
Sony, and I started thinking, what if they fuse the two universes together, or like and then and it doesn't get fixed till maybe uh Scarlet Witch fixes it later in the next movie. You know what I mean? In the Doctor Strange 2 movie.
right. No, yeah, I think that's what's gonna happen.
So
Yeah, something
everything's
like
gonna
that.
be all convoluted and stuff. Because then it was either that or they brought Morbius over to see him, or not just specifically for the goal of seeing him, but they bump into each other. You know
He's
what I
like,
mean? Or
"Hey, I'm
or
here.
it's
Hey, we saw you, man. Take it easy."
or
Yeah.
it's Michael Keaton gets sent over there, or everything is just merged for a while,
That's
and
yeah, I think
because
it's the 3rd option. I think it's just gonna be go ahead.
yeah, well, because I just don't get it because and the timeline is the timeline for Morbius after this happens or before it happens, and then somebody said it's a pocket universe, and I'm like, yeah, I don't know that it's going to be a pocket
Yeah,
universe.
I mean, maybe, but
Maybe it
I don't yeah,
could.
I really don't think so either, and it looks like, just from the preview that the timeline for Morbius is gonna be a long timeline, like he's looking for, or he gets the disease, he's looking for a cure for the disease or something like that, and it's like 10 years or something. It seems like a good time span, of, my assumption is about 10 years or so. So, it could be with anywhere within that timeline, um, and it could be a different universe, or he's off doing whatever because he goes to like it seems he goes far away to and gets the vampire uh, curse or whatever or virus.
Yeah.
Um, so whatever Spider-Man's doing and stuff may be occurring in New York, and he just has no concept of it or something like that. But
Now,
yeah, I mean,
if it's just a variant, that makes sense. If it's like a different universe, it's just a variant. That would be the only way I could see it. You
w-
know.
what worries me is that I think that what worries me is that I think that we are already thinking about this way more than any producer at Sony did. Like, like
Yeah.
if Marvel was involved, like it's gonna fit. They'll make it work. But if Marvel wasn't involved with Morbius, it's like we are already thinking way deeper into it than anybody at Sony. They're like, yeah, fuck yeah, get Michael Keaton, yeah, let's get him in
Well,
here. Let's
well,
go.
to go through the trouble of getting Michael Keaton in there, you're also talking about a Mike. It's freaking Michael Keaton. So it's like it's one thing if it's like, oh, you had some agent that's in two of the movies or something, but it's like when you're
Yeah.
talking about Michael Keaton, who, by the way, is in a multiverse Flash movie and and a multiverse, Marvel stuff, and it's like,
He is the
Michael
key
Keaton
to
just
all
has, yeah, he just has the power to fly
Michael
between universes.
Keaton.
Yeah.
The key to all things?
I'm just trying to understand. I can't wait to say, "Oh, that's what it was," because otherwise, if it's just like, "Oh, he's just everywhere," that's just sloppy. It seems weird.
That's kinda what worries me. Like I said, but Sony is just kinda sloppy. Um, so if yeah, I hope not.
'Cause I'm like,
But
does frickin' Morbius, exist in the MCU? Or of course not, he's in his own thing. Or like, does Vulture exist in the MCU? Is he went to jail?
Vulture absolutely does, yeah,
Of course.
but
So then
and
so what's he doing in the Sonyverse? That's
so
what I'm trying to say.
but I think yeah, and I think Sony is trying to say that Morbius does, but Marvel's like, well, I don't know about that yet. Like, I think that's exactly what Sony's trying to do. Like say, yeah, yeah, oh yeah, look, Vulture's here. He's in the MCU. Morbius is, and
I
imply
I
or say
don't
that
I don't but I mean, they're working together on this stuff, like, the planning and all that.
on this.
You've got Venom in multiple movies, also now in the MCU, and they're pulling in Sony characters into they're like it's not like Feige wouldn't notice that. He knows. They're talking about all their
No,
stuff.
I know, and he's probably like go ahead with it, like I mean, but just I don't know. I mean,
I'm getting a
like
nosebleed. I'm like, it's all good. We'll just have to wait and see what happens. But the only the logical thing that I can think of is that he's going to show up in No Way Home, and he's going to get tossed into a portal into the Spider-Verse, and the whole point of that is the same point why we saw Rhino at the end of the Amazing Spider-Man, is because there's plans for Sinister Six, which we already know that they want to do that. So that's a way of putting that together. I think is the reason he's in that.
yeah, I mean, yeah, I think he's definitely going to be in the Sinister Six.
He's gonna show
And
up. I'm telling you, he's got it. He's got to show up and get tossed into the Sonyverse.
yeah, because they've got, I mean, they've got, Green Goblin and Melina from the Raimi verse, or and Sandman from the Raimi verse. You've got Electro and Lizard. That's five. And they've got to have somebody. It's not going to be Mysterio because he's dead. So
Y-
it's good.
Yeah, you'll have Electro and Lizard. You'll probably have Venom show up and be fighting, helping Spider-Man. The portals will be closing, and then the Vulture will try to interfere, and Venom will just suck them all back into his own universe. Come
Yeah,
on,
maybe.
you're coming with me. And then he pulls him in there, and the next thing you know, there's no way home for Michael Keaton. He's stuck in Sonyville. I don't know. We'll just have to. I think we talked enough about it. We'll have to come back and reflect on this later once we see No Way Home. But
Actually, see the movie.
yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm like, it just gives me an ice cream headache. I'm like, come on, man, what the hell is going on? And why does nobody else care? And I go, does that mean I'm crazy? Because I've seen a whole bunch of people talking about how, dude, do you see the post-credit scene? You got Venom's jumping between universes. Is this because of the spell? And then they're like, yeah, Spider-Man's the only character that could jump from MCU to Sonyverse. And then I'm like, why is there a guy from MCU in the Sonyverse in that preview and nobody's talking about it? It's really pissing me off. Like, in simple, complex explanation, either I'll take it. But it's just like, oh, it's just because it's Michael Keaton. Batman can do anything, And like, okay,
Yeah.
this is
Well,
not.
yeah. Yeah. Well, shit. We can go down that rabbit hole. He could be Batman, and
It's just pissing me off because you hear all these high fives and celebration about all these people bouncing back and forth, and oh, so and so's going to be in this, and I heard, and I'm like, no mention of Michael. It's just like, oh yeah, he's in that.
yeah.
What do you mean he's just
If
in that? There's something going on here, and I require logic. There has to be some explanation. Okay, I'm done.
honestly, if you can put Michael Keaton in anything, just go ahead and do it. I'm rewatching The Simpsons, and the one where Michael Keaton was in it as the prisoner was just he steals the show as always. Like so.
Michael Keaton's the shit.
Yep.
Did you see what was the Apprentice? It was a movie that came out recently with the girl that plays Nikita. I can't think of her name. She does
No.
infomercials on gut flora gut
Oh,
flora.
the gut flora girl. Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
talking about?
No, I don't. No.
Gut flora like supplements that make you maybe your poop's not right. And I'm like, why is Nikita talking about hold on here. I just can't think of her name.
Reese says Morbius was meant to come out before No Way Home. that makes things even more complicated. Interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
And they apparently they have done a lot of recuts, I think, on both of them. So
And maybe that was a post-credit scene that we were gonna see, and it was gonna be, uh,
yeah, that
hinting
might
at
have been
that.
the original Morbius No Way Home or post credit scene, and then stuff got switched, and they're like, well, now we got to do some more with it because Michael Keaton is doing reshoots. They were saying so.
Oh, it's Maggie
Um,
Q. That's her name. Do you know
no,
who
I did not see
Maggie
it.
Q is?
No.
Let's see here. You go see this movie if you get bored. There it is. Let's get an image of this. The Protege. That looks good. Right there. The Protege. It's got Michael Keaton, Sam Jackson, and Maggie Q. Maggie Q was
I
Nick.
heard about it
Yeah,
actually. Go ahead.
Maggie
Go
Q
ahead.
was Nikita. Dude, this came out this year. And it was your average action movie. He's a hitman. It's kind of like The Professional. He's a hitman. He saves Samuel Jackson saves her when she's a kid, and she grows up kind of a daughter-esque of a sort of this of Sam Jackson, the hitman, and becomes a hitman when she grows up and turns into a
Yeah.
badass. Michael Keaton's
We
another badass, and they end up getting into a lot of confrontations and fights and stuff because they're both kind of attracted to each other, and both professionals. But yeah, it was pretty good if you like espionage kind of movies. But it's cool to see Michael Keaton. He's getting up there in age. He's still doing action scenes and fight scenes and stunts and fighting for a gun and falling on, breaking a table and all kinds of stuff.
Well, we actually have talked about this because like whenever I think you had seen it and you were talking about it, and that sounds like the freaking
The Professional.
sequel to The Professional that we've been wanting all these years, and they just rewrote it as a different movie. But no, I haven't seen it yet. Is it streaming anywhere?
Sure. I'll tell you right now.
And I would like to say, while we're talking about new movies, the next week, obviously Spider-Man comes out, and everybody's gonna go see that. But there's a new Del Toro movie coming out, Nightmare Alley.
Oh, cool.
And I love Del Toro, so I will be seeing that as well.
The Matrix is coming out next week too. I already got my ticket for that.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we'll be seeing that. I'm not as big of a fan as everybody else, but yeah, I'm definitely gonna check it out.
You're not a fan of the Matrix? What are you, lame?
I guess so.
Come on, man. Matrix is awesome. I cannot wait for some Matrix action. I'm super stoked. I got my ticket for noon time.
Oh man.
I
might be able to see it that early too, because I'm off. So
I'm not off. I work. I'm going to be working that evening, and I'm going to go to the movies and see it and get out, and then go to work. That's how bad I want to see that.
And be trying to talk to everybody at the bar about it. And they're gonna be like, "I haven't seen it yet. Shut up, dude!" And then you're gonna go crazy.
No, I'm going to tell them. Well, this is what happens. Now you don't need to, loser. Yeah, I'm going early bird ticket. At 12:20. Excited on the 22nd. Hell yeah. Got my No Way Home ticket. I'm just sad that I already saw Hawkeye, man. I would love to go watch some more Hawkeye.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good show. I don't know what about it hadn't grabbed me yet.
Yeah, guys, you can tip us on Cash App, or I'm gonna ruin the Matrix. Yeah, we're not monetized yet, so we can't even get super chats. But
No, he's talking about it at the bar. Like,
okay, I'm talking about on the air. I'm gonna live stream.
Have you seen the new?
I'm gonna live stream from my chair in the theater. Guys,
yeah, you're not recording it, so you can't geek out. But you're like,
yeah,
dude, Neo totally just said this. Oh my god, I can't.
Morpheus is back. Trinity is Morpheus. What?
Oh my god. Bum, bum. Well, and we were talking about, before how the games are canon in, The Matrix.
Yes.
Um, and Reese brought up a good, point earlier, like, in the Amazing Spider-Man game, uh, Cletus Cassidy is the killer of Uncle Ben, and they didn't pursue that in the movie. And so he was saying that the game actually makes more sense than the fucking movie does. Um, but like that's the thing. Sometimes some of this stuff is fleshed out better, you know, in other mediums.
Yeah, I
And
mean, they figured it out on the in the Raimi verse though, right? They did it right.
yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, in the Raimiverse, yeah, they nailed it. But yeah, with the Matrix, if that's, I'm wondering if that still stands because there's the young guy that looks like a young Morpheus, right? We don't know. Do we know? I mean, you know more than me.
I,
Is Fishburne in this one?
he's not supposed to be, but who knows? He might come back. I
Okay,
didn't realize Cletus Cassidy killed Uncle Ben.
he
It
did
took
in the
took me a
comics.
second to process that. He did?
No, not in the comics. No, no. What he's saying is he's saying in the video game,
Oh,
they made the character of the killer. Like I said, they just ignored it in the movie. Um, but in the video game, they actually made it make more sense and made it was Cletus Cassidy, and they were going to kind of revisit it or something like that. Now and again, if they did say it in the movie, I missed it completely. But it's a completely dropped storyline. Like his
yeah.
main motivation is completely dropped. And he doesn't pick it back up in the second one. It's not like I gotta find that fucking guy, and it doesn't seem like in the third one they were gonna worry about it either.
I like how they. I didn't think about it either, but like in the first, they brought Sandman in as the one who killed Uncle Ben,
Mhm.
but he wasn't that. Flint Marco, well, he wasn't the one who did it
Right.
in the
Well,
in the first one. They had some random guy, and then in the
yeah,
second one they had Flint Marco. Did they just recast him or
no, it was so the guy that Peter um
Saw?
saw was actually the bad guy, and Flint Marco was just like gonna be the driver, and so he went to get the car from Uncle Ben, and
Got it.
that
Okay.
guy.
I
So
thought
and
I thought they
he
just
accidentally, yeah, he accidentally shot Uncle Ben, and then the guy that Peter saw jumped in the car and took off.
got it. Got it.
And yeah, um, yeah. So they did retcon it, and again, I don't know, I don't remember if they did that in the. I don't think they did that in the comics. I think Flint Marco was the killer, but I'm not sure. But um, yeah. But they made it work too because like I did love. Oh, we're gonna talk some more Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, go for
we
it, dude.
we're just gonna have a whole new series called "Let's Talk About Spider-Man 3." Like, is it good or is it not? But like how whenever they would show Peter thinking about it, he imagined like Flint Marco just like gunning his uncle down, like yeah, like shooting him. And then whenever it showed it in real life, he was like, "Come on, give me the car, old man!" Like and then his gun accidentally went off and shot Uncle Ben, and then the other guy took off in the car. So it was like the perceptions that people have and stuff like that. But it was just really well done in that movie. Whereas
Yeah.
in this one, it was like, just like and Uncle Ben was going for the gun. Oh god,
Yeah,
I don't know.
why would Martin Sheen be going for that gun so aggressive? Like, dude, you're old guy, man.
He's running away already. Like
Yeah.
that's like, like I don't know.
He like gets his stance ready like he's Goldberg. He's gonna attack this guy. I'm like, dude, you're fucking old. Let him go.
You're going down, punk.
Get it. Just write down his driver's license number or something, or like license plate number. Like, just
Or-
step aside. Like,
Peter Peter's dad told Martin Sheen like I've infected you with spider powers, and he was like just joking. And Martin Sheen's like, "Come on, motherfucker!" Like,
yeah,
"Oh my god!"
yeah. I thought that was kind of funny. Like, why would you do that, dude? Just step aside, mortal. Let him go.
Yeah,
Let the bad guy
yeah.
go. What a bummer, man. Any other cool news? Like so I think we're both agree that Amazing Spider-Man 2 is a pile of shit.
Yes, I think we are in
What a
agreement.
rude thing to say. Like I really like uh,
It's
Gwen Stacy in this movie. I
okay. No,
honestly saw a lot of performances from I want to call him Nathan Garfield because that's a guy I went to school with, but Andrew Garfield, um, that were fantastic, dude. When
right.
Gwen dies, he's a really good actor. Like
Again, yeah, the acting was great. Yeah, I thought, um,
even Aunt May, like, she's upset and like doesn't want to tell him the secret about his dad and all that, and like, and they're like, "This isn't about you," and they're like, but like it's some really good acting. It's just some really corny story thrown in there, and it's like, uh,
it's not even story. It's just like I said, it's just ideas. It's not even story. Like,
it's it shows that you can't polish a turd with amazing actors because they're like
right?
all a bunch of good actors,
Yeah.
and I don't know about young Harry Osborn actor. He kind of annoyed me,
That
but
was bad.
I mean, he
Oh
wasn't
my god, that
terrible.
was
But if he was trying to be
he was
not
no,
like,
he was
if he was trying to not be likable, I'll say he did a good job.
and but and the thing is too, like Peter and Harry had always been friends, and in this one, it's like, hey man, haven't seen you in like 10 years, like our whole developing life, like, you want to hang out? Oh sure, you're supposed to be my friend, and it's like, I don't fucking know you, dude. Like, imagine somebody like when you're 10 and then you meet someone when you're 20, and it's like, uh, I mean, like, yeah, we were best friends, I hope that'd be, but like, what? Like,
yeah, Peter does still doesn't end up buying the eggs. He does show up with the eggs in that movie at one
yeah, at the
point.
very end, he
He
does. I
he
think they're all
pulled him out of
squished,
his
but
hoodie, all like vertically. Like I thought maybe they were crushed or something. Here's your broken eggs, mom. I'm like, where did you get money for eggs? You couldn't pay for chocolate milk. Now you got money for
yeah,
eggs? What the hell?
yeah, you fucking bum. Your
Yeah, but he
your
does.
uncle'll be
Shame on you,
alive.
Reese. Shame on you. He does show up with the eggs. Do not don't discount what he did.
And like honestly, as Spider-Man or just Peter Parker, put a mask on, go beat the shit out of that store owner or that store clerk. Like, just you ain't gotta kill him or nothing. Just go punch him in the face a couple times. Like 2 cents. Like, really, dude? Like, come on. Like, he deserves a good ass whooping. Like, that's all I'm saying. Like, go get him.
We're going to talk more about Tom Holland here up in the up and coming episodes, but how do you feel just in a nutshell, like how do you feel about Tom Holland as Peter Parker?
I think he's killing it, man. He's worried about getting typecast, and I think that's a fair worry because, like, he's kind of turning into Spider-Man. Tobey Maguire is still my Spider-Man, but Tom Holland's like he's bringing it, man. I think he's like, makes the balance of Peter Parker and Spider-Man perfectly. Um, and he's doing well, but I made the point too, like, for somebody who doesn't want to be typecast, he wants to be the next Bond. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. That's not a good jive. Like, if you're like,
I I think I think Spider-Man is a kid character, you know what I mean? And I feel like he wants to mature and be able to do things like Brad Pitt or
yeah,
like you know what I mean, like an
for sure,
Leonardo
yeah,
DiCaprio and grow and become an adult actor who is, instead of just being some guy that's in a bunch of comic book movies, go do some other things and get some I guess respect. People
yeah,
also respect you when you're worth $100 million, which he
yeah.
will be by the end of it all. But
But
like, but I'm sure that the artistic side of him, I think that's why he said, yeah, hopefully, by the time I'm 30, I won't be doing this. I don't think he really was like, I don't like being Spider-Man. I think he was thinking, I'd like to be doing other roles that are a little bit more
No, I agree.
cosmopolitan, if you will. You know what I mean? Like that are fancier roles and stuff, and because nobody expects to get an Academy Award leading a Spider-Man movie. You know what I mean?
But
So
that's well, you're right,
yeah,
that's what kinda pisses me off because, I mean, I'm not saying he should just get an Academy Award or something, but whenever like, in Endgame, when he's like, "I don't wanna go, Mr. Stark. I don't wanna go," like, that was fucking, like or no, that
yeah.
was, Infinity War. Like, he's a kid, he's a kid. He's like, "I don't" like, it's like, he knows what's happening, and like, that was fucking heartbreaking. Like, it was terrible. I mean, yeah, he should do some other stuff, but and it's just that, yeah, comic book movies
But he's
do
also playing the part of a 17-year-old. That's
yeah,
he's a
yeah.
27-year-old or 25-year-old playing a 17-year-old and playing it well. I'm like, I think he wants to get some hair on his chest and like and become a grown up. I mean, I'm just supposing, you know what I mean? But I'm just
No,
saying like
for
and
sure.
like yeah, I don't want to be a kid comic book kid for forever. I want to do grown up movies and be in when I grow up, I want to be successful, like and respected, like Leonardo DiCaprio
But I
and all these other actors, Tom Hardy, even. You know what I mean?
yeah, but I think him making those decisions is the best thing for Sony/Marvel, um, because yeah, like that's the thing. Like if what I will say about Hawkeye to kind of go back to everything we're talking about, like they're obviously building towards a Young Avengers movie. Okay, that's coming. They're obviously building towards it. If you're not familiar with Young Avengers, obviously Kate Bishop is like the Young Avengers version of Hawkeye. In Falcon and the Winter Soldier, they had Truth. What's his name? But the the older black man who was they injected with the first Captain America, like they injected him, and his son or his nephew or whatever it is, becomes like the Captain America version, the Patriot. Um, the Iron Man thing's all mixed up and weird, but um, and then actually Thor and Hulking are Wanda Maximoff's kids. Um, that's why they have the powers because they're not, or at some point they weren't real in the comics. And I would think that they're bringing that in, but they should make movies or series where they're training the young Avengers, not just like kind of like you were saying with Spider-Man, like, oh, hey, I got some powers, let's go beat up everybody. You know, like I do like the aspect of Hawkeye, kind of like training this girl and like being like this is and it was a very good point in this. Y'all are making me like the most recent episode a lot more, like where he's like, you can't do that, or like you're no, why are you doing that? Quit doing that. Like that's how the movie like they can make a whole string of movies or series where they're training the young Avengers and then they have a young Avengers movie on the same level. Like um they should bring in Miles Morales. That's the only like instead of like just replacing or rebooting all this stuff, like bringing in a Miles Morales and like having this stuff continue and go that direction is going to be, I mean, it's going to make the stories last longer. It's going to make it, make more sense instead of just redoing it, again in 10 years or whatever.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
I
that's
wonder,
I
go ahead.
think from the stuff I've heard and stuff that like small screens written about and stuff like they've talked about deals that they're doing and working on and Tom Holland's supposed to be in future movies. I think they're talking about a trilogy of college Spider-Man trilogy of
Mhm.
college stuff and to I'm excited to get the official announcements for all that and see it,
Right.
like and I feel good about it because they've like small screens got some great sources and they hear a lot of cool stuff that is and they've got such a great track record. Um, I also feel like you're gonna get uh, Tom Holland coming in and then basically I think he's like okay I'm gonna set up an exit strategy. I'll do more movies makes more money, but I don't want to do this for too long. So can we hurry? Can we quit messing around and get some Miles Morales set up to where by the time I'm visualizing myself being out of this, I could just train Miles Morales and then pop in occasionally as a Tony Stark, the way Iron Man was popping in on all the.
Right,
I think he
right.
wants to do that for Peter Parker, and so I'm sure we're gonna get some like a lot of Tom Holland for a while, but I think once his 5-year plan starts coming to an end, I think then when we see him, it's just gonna be he'll only have to come in and shoot for a couple of days and get his scenes done real quick. And
I think s
by then he'll have a light beard, maybe a goatee, some back hair, he'll be
I
all grown up.
I think so too, unless he does because that's the thing too is we'll have to see it. What is it, Uncharted? How well that does. His new movie, which I mean, the preview looks really cool. Like, where he's
Uncharted.
jumping out of the plane. Is it? I think it's Uncharted or something. But he's jumping. He's falling out of the plane and jumping over and fighting these guys, and it's got a.
I didn't know anything about that.
Oh yeah, they showed on every preview. Every time I've been in the movies, they
When does
show
that
them out.
movie come out?
I don't know.
2022. I got it right here. Uncharted. He's
Uh,
with Mark Wahlberg.
yeah,
Uh-oh. Mark
yeah,
Wahlberg has
literally.
turned. I like Mark Wahlberg, but he's turned into like a kiss of death. Every movie I see with Mark Wahlberg is just kind of like meh. Lately,
Yeah. Uh, but and that's the thing too. Like it looks like the preview looks pretty cool. But I mean, I'm not going to go see it in theaters, like unless maybe. But so I'm wondering like if he's going to be like I want to I don't want to do this, I don't do this, and he's going to pull a Hemsworth like and be like, well, every other thing I've done bombed, so man, you know what? Let's do some more like Marvel movie,
but
like.
dude, by then he'll have a super receded hairline and he'll have a ZZ Top beard. He'll be like, dude, you're 32. You're 32. You're looking like Green Goblin on the Amazing Spider-Man.
Tobey Maguire was like 76 when they made Spider-Man 3. Like, come on. They could pull it off.
We'll
Uh,
see. We'll see what happens. It's interesting I really think it's funny how everybody's like, "Oh yeah, this talking so much about it. Like there's articles every 15 minutes about all the shit that's going down. Who's now going to be popping in? It's like this is such a huge movie that you're just getting all kinds of information. And
oh yeah. Oh
yeah.
yeah. Because that's like this when I saw the trailer for this when I saw Alfred Molina, like because everybody knows like Spider-Man 2 is the best, like, we talked about that last week. I haven't been excited for a movie. Like I haven't felt like, oh my god, like whenever I saw this preview, I was just like, oh shit. Like even for other Marvel movies, maybe besides Endgame or something like that. And I'm not comparing this to Endgame or whatever else. But I felt the same feeling. Like I was just like, what the fuck is going on here? Like I got to see this. And now that was in like what August or September or and it's been so long. And that's the thing. If they don't pull it off, this is gonna be like Sony's just gonna fucking go under or something like
All
they're gonna
hell's
get
going to break loose.
like if they don't pull it off, it's gonna be so bad. Like if they Sony it up, I don't think they're gonna because like I said, Marvel's heavily involved and you got Doctor Strange in there and all that stuff. But yeah, like probably since Endgame, like I haven't been this excited for a movie and like it's just and that's the thing too like just to go back to a further earlier point, I just walked up and got tickets for Endgame, so I'm not
Yeah.
necessarily worried about this one, like
I'm sure it's going to
'cause
be fun.
yeah.
I'm sure. Yeah, it's exciting. We'll see. So we got so much good stuff. And there's another thing too. I was like listening to another show and they were talking about it and they're like, "Dude, uh like this one guy was not very thrilled or not overly excited about Book of Boba Fett coming. We're seeing all kinds of cool stuff, cool new trailers and stuff." And he's like, "I don't even really care." And I'm like, "Dude, what's wrong with this guy?" And I'm like, it's kind of funny. You got people not. not really talking that much about Hawkeye, not that much, and I'm wondering if the excitement for Spider-Man: No Way Home, it's like once everybody goes to see No Way Home, then all of a sudden they're going to be like Book of Boba Fett. No, it's like
Right.
too
Yeah.
many
Oh,
major
I agree.
too many major events happening at the same time. You know what I mean? Like, come on, we can only handle so much excitement.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, for sure. Once Spider-Man's like second weekend of Spider-Man, No Way Home, like it's just gonna be like, all right, well, what's next?
yeah,
Like yeah, all that other stuff is just waiting in the wings right now.
yeah, they're like
Like,
Matrix, get in line behind Book of Boba Fett and Hawkeye, and then Kingsman, you're way at the back of the line. Like,
yeah, poor Kingsman.
I think that's
Like,
going to be good. It looks like it's going to
it
be
looks
good.
really good. Yeah,
Yeah.
it looks like it looks really good.
Hey, I'm
Eh,
gonna see them all when they come out.
yeah, I mean, I won't, but like, or I'll see Spider-Man, but I wish I could say I would, but yeah, my kids aren't gonna sit through that.
Reese has a question. I'm trying to get this thing to shrink down.
He says,
Not to get off
off
topic, but how does child support work in the MCU if your kids got Thanos snapped? That's an excellent question. Are you trolling us?
I think he's trolling us. I think.
When I don't feel very good about myself, I fuck with people on the internet that I don't even know that well because it makes me feel better. Ooh, it makes me feel better. But the dopamine, it doesn't even last that long. And now the dopamine's gone.
Oh yeah, I hadn't seen that one in a long time. The classic
Oh, trolls.
trolls everywhere, trolls. Yes, sir, guys. This was the Webverse recap, the countdown for No Way Home. I know, Reese.
Says,
It was just an excuse to play that video. I just needed a good excuse.
and I'm thoroughly convinced that they hired this director because his last name was Webb. Like,
Oh yeah, I hadn't even, dude. How did I not put that together? Holy crap!
he had done 500 Days of Summer, which I think I've seen. I don't know, but like that's why they hired this fucking guy, Mark Webb.
There was
Oh,
another one.
Spider-Man.
There was another thing that I saw. What's now I have to go look it up because it's gonna make me crazy. Okay, the Ant-Man director. No, Ant-Man Quantumania.
Mhm.
Oh, it's Peyton Reed. That's not who it was. Oh boy, there was another name, play on words. Oh no, Reed. It was Reed. It was Peyton Reed, and then somehow I was listening to everybody talking, and I was like, Reed, is he going to be? Could they? I think they were in talks of him doing Fantastic Four, and then I was doing a Reed Richards connection to Reed, and looking for a way to make a thing out of that, and I just wasted a whole bunch of time. That was really not worth anybody's time. Apologies to everyone at home, but I had to put that together because you just said web, and I'm like, was that what I was thinking about earlier? No, it wasn't. Yeah, and of course, Sam Raimi. There's no connection at all with his name. So, all right, there you go.
Nope.
Well,
He
guys,
didn't need it.
yeah, we're at 1 hour 47 minutes. Anybody got any questions in the chat? Let's look around in here. See, we got Rajneesh went to bed. Old Raj couldn't hang. I wonder if James is still in here. And I wonder who Sylvan Petronia is. I don't know who that is. Sylvan? That's from earlier. Special thanks to everybody for hanging out. We got Thomas Sierra says 7 days left. Woohoo! Jennifer Summers jumped in, said volume, FYI. I don't know what that means. Bowl?
I don't know.
I don't know either. But we've got Bobby in the house. 4:20 for me. Sleep is for the weak. That's right. Yep, I know we got good old Bobby in the house. Oh yeah. Curtis, what do you got going on tomorrow? And what are you doing for Christmas?
Hopefully not too much, man. I'm sure, do the family stuff here. And then, see some other family stuff too. Yeah, I'm a teacher, so I'm off for Christmas break. And I plan on redoing the laundry room, but we'll see if I actually get to that. I've been planning on doing it for a while now. But that would be amazing if I could actually do that. But hopefully, yeah. And hopefully, well, I am going to go over visit my brother in Dallas for about 2 or 3 days. And then, but yeah, other than that, hopefully just chilling.
Hell yeah, man. That sounds exciting.
How about you?
Me, I'm gonna go see my folks, and do the out in the country thing, and where it's right on the Frio River, out in the hill country, middle of nowhere. It's 10 minutes to the nearest town. The population of the town is 400 something, and the nearest grocery store is like 70 miles away. It's like
7-0?
And for you guys, yes. And for
Oh,
you
wow.
guys in from England, that's a lot of kilometers. I'm just letting you know. Like that's a long ways.
Quite a bit.
Quite a few kilometers. And so it's so bad that like if you get sick, you have to take a helicopter to the hospital. Like if you have a stroke, you're not taking an ambulance. It's like an hour, 20 minutes. You're helicoptering in.
Yeah, me and my wife, before we bought our house, we bought our house last year, and before prices decided to go through the roof. But like we really wanted, we were like, we'll get some land somewhere, and we're gonna, we want to get some land and get a house and blah blah. And I was talking to my father-in-law about it, and I was like, yeah, I'm talking about all these places, and this, here's some good land like this, and he's like, those all look good, man, but you got to think, like, because he grew up in, I mean, a tiny town with and his family still got a good bit of land. He was like, there is no hospital. Like, there's just not a hospital. Like, you have to, it's like an hour to the nearest hospital. And he's like, you got little kids. And I was like, shit, man, you're right. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm not even going to take the chance.
Yeah, that's scary.
So, yeah. And so, we bought our house. We, eventually we will get some land and stuff like that. But yeah, I was like, I never even entered my brain. And I was like, nope, never mind. Deals off.
Damn millennials with their hospitals. Back in my day, we didn't worry about hospitals. We just put some dirt on it. That's all. It's all good.
Yeah.
Hospitals.
Kind of a deal breaker, but
no, absolutely,
right.
man.
I'm spoiled. I'm spoiled wanting my hospitals.
Dude, if there's not a Starbucks within 6 minutes of my house, I'm not living there. Period.
Right. No, and that's right too, because like I grew up in a small town, which actually was not nearly as much like as what you're talking about. Like, but it was still a small town, and I fucking hated it growing up. Like, I was just, oh my god, so many small town minds and this and that and the other. And but at the same time, like, I want to get out of the city too. Like, so I just want a good mid-sized town that's like actually a functioning city, but is not like completely overrun with people all the time, where you want to just punch everybody in the face. Like, you know.
My buddy who used to be your roommate, lives in New Braunfels now, and it's like a beautiful, beautiful town. It's not too crazy. It's just chill. It's just a cool, chill town. But if you need to go to a show or do something, you can get to Austin really quick. I think it's super cool. I'm jealous of in the most loving way, because that guy deserves everything. But like I'm like, dude, that house is badass, and he's got a cool neighborhood and got modern conveniences, but also small town stuff. I think it's really neat. I'd like to get to a place that isn't in the center of Austin and is chill and laid back like that. Doesn't have all the traffic issues. But again, if I need to get here, play a show or do some band practice, I can get here pretty quick. So we'll see where I end up.
Well, and that's like
probably
that was New Braunfels was kind of our like dream idea. Like but I don't know how he afforded it. Like it's crazy expensive out there.
I
But
bet.
yeah, like because yeah, it's 30 minutes anywhere in Houston. Like you want to go get some bread, it's 30 minutes. Like like it's so like yeah, getting 30 minutes to Austin, it's like that's not that bad. You know. Reese says, "Time to start your own
Yeah,
hospital."
time to start your own hospital. Where are you guys in the who are listening? The few, you know, you're not wrong about those being bots. Those are definitely bots. He was like, those sound like bots. Like when Jennifer Summers says, "Voy, FYI," that's a bot.
Oh, okay. I thought that was some new lingo or something. I don't know.
No,
I was like, I don't
like
know what that means.
vas
Yeah,
sf dot that's a bot. Like I'll
yeah.
post a video. Sometimes I'm like, hey, I got a cool Boba Fett theory video posted up there, and I'm like, oh, I got a comment. I'll open up my YouTube app and go look at it, and it's a freaking bot. That's like, yeah,
You motherfucker.
yeah. Like, what douchebag in an internet cafe in some weird place in the world decided he had time to come do this? Oh, it's not actually a person; it's a bot. What a dirtbag. Yes, sir. Well, where's everybody in the chat coming from? Anybody?
Jennifer Summers, where you at?
Yeah. Reese 75, where do you live?
Yeah, Reese, he says it's 4:20 there. God dang, Reese. You just waking up or you going to bed or? It's probably he's right. It's probably a James bot.
Oh, outside of L.A. Okay.
Okay, so it's not that late there.
You're like in
for Bobby.
Fullerton? You're like somewhere down in Fullerton. You're the UK. Thank you. He's Are you
Yeah, we
in
got Reese.
are you in Dover? Yeah, I was in one time I was in Azusa. Okay. Woo. Pull that down. We don't need to give away Bobby's secret location.
And yeah, what's your address and credit card number? Go ahead and give us that too, right quick. Yeah.
Yes. Definitely.
Joking, completely joking.
The UK. You and I spent Fullerton is southeast. Yep. I used to tour with a lot of bands and stuff, so I had friends out in that area. We got matched up. I'm from Texas. Everybody thinks Texans, all of them wear cowboy hats, play country music, but we were in a rock band touring out there, and everyone thought we were from California. Like, yeah. I'm like, nope, we're from Texas. What? Yeah, and don't forget the 3 numbers on the back, the CVV numbers. Those are very important.
Yeah, it's really actually amazing what like in again 2022 biggest state or continental state in the United States. Houston is the 4th biggest city in the US, and yeah, there are still plenty of people who believe that we ride horses to school and stuff like that. Like it's amazing. Like I'll have students come in and be like, I thought it was going to be like, the desert and like y'all ride horses to school. So I'm like, what are you like? What? Like, yeah, for like.
Did you get around in New England, like up in the up in the East Coast? They really believe that. They're like,
yeah, they know that's
yeah.
Like straight up, and then we eat beans for every meal, like sitting around a campfire, like.
We do, don't you eat beans for every meal?
Well, I'm not sitting around a campfire, but yeah, I do.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I Dover. I think Dover's the first town when you cross over from Calais, coming from France. I think it's Dover. I might be wrong. So I was just trying to bust that out. It's the only town I can think besides London. That's all I got. The UK. Oxford. Huh?
Yorkshire.
Cambridge. York. Yeah. That's all I got, man. That's all I got. Reese. All right. Well, shoot, man. We're at 1 hour and 58 minutes, so we're gonna cut it at 2 hours on the dot. So before we get to the countdown, as a Brit, my knowledge comes from TV. I know those Western-style towns exist where you ride horses because of TV. That's right.
There are absolutely so talented where people ride horses. They don't have to, but they do on a very regular basis. But yeah, like that is not most of the. Well, actually, never mind.
Ding 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 ding.
Texas is fucking big, guys.
It's real big. Well, guys, we had a good time today. We did the Webverse recap, and if you didn't yet subscribe, hit that subscribe button. This is the point in the show where we do the call to action, telling you to do stuff for us, and that is subscribe. Click the notification bell. Tell your friends about us. Post this stuff on your social media. Twitter. It's the OG Clint Baker at Twitter is how you can find me. And very soon I'll have ClintLikesEverything.com set up where I'll have all the fun stuff, maybe even a newsletter or something that's talking about everything that's going on. So, Curtis, where can they find you?
They can find me here. I keep planning on setting up more social media stuff just so I can have something to say at the end of these, but I have not yet.
I just keep asking to be polite. I already know the answer. It's kind of fun watching you squirm. Plus, you're a teacher, so you got to stay quasi secretive. You know what I mean? You're like
that's absolutely true. Yeah.
Yeah, he's actually got a giant red permed afro underneath, but he shoves it under his hat to keep it hidden from the public because he doesn't want to know. He doesn't want everybody to know who he is.
Recognize, yeah.
Hey, Rogzeg, Salnikuk says, Was F Tech. So there you go, guys. Thanks.
Rogsnake.
Oh boy. Okay.
That's a good sign. We're getting big enough to be botted.
When you have that knocked us up to 5 viewers. So yeah, when you get 5 viewers and 2 of them are Reese and Bobby, that's a good show right there.
That's all you need.
Good
baby.
times. And we appreciate you guys. We're gonna be back next week.
Very much so.
That's right. So we've hit 2 minutes and 50 up 2 minutes, 2 hours and 1 minute. Man, I think I'm running out of gas. Time to get out of here, guys. So, guys, thanks again from me and Curtis. We will see you next time. Keep it gangster.